So the church has spent how long now selling afterlife insurance policy, I guess you could call it, promising people that if you say the sinner's prayer, you got your guaranteed ticket to heaven when you die. Accept Jesus into your heart, boom, you're all set. And then we move on to the next. Soul saved, check in the box, another notch in your belt. Something about that seems wrong from two angles. One, it seems wrong that that's our approach to making disciples of all nations. That's what Jesus said to do. He didn't say go around and get as many people to say this specific liturgy of words and then you're all set and then move on to the next one. No, he said go and make disciples of all nations. Take them under your wing, establish relationships, love them, walk them into the kingdom, hold their hand, train them up in the way they should go. Teach them the truth. And so from that aspect, it seems, again, like just a marketing strategy. Like, here's Disneyland, you get a lifetime pass after you do this thing, which inherently is eros. That's not agape. That's like, do this thing and I'll give you this, or else you're doomed. But, so that's one thing. The other thing that's problematic, I think in my mind anyway, is we're pitching, part of our sales pitch is we're pitching a heaven that's like, again, eternal Disneyland. It's, okay, say this thing, and when you die, you get to go to this awesome place where you can just play harps and, suntan in God's presence for the rest of eternity. When the Bible talks about, so you've got life now, you've got life after the resurrection, which our hope is in the resurrection, to follow Jesus' example. When he comes back triumphantly, and we're all resurrected into supernatural bodies, that Paul talks about that a lot. But the thing in between that death and the resurrection is a gray area. That's like, we're not really sure. We know about Abraham's bosom, that Lazarus and the rich man story. And we know about Jesus saying tonight, or today, you'll be with me in paradise, to the other criminal on the cross. But it's not all fun and games necessarily, and you're not going to be there forever. Our hope is in the resurrection, and if that's not happening, then our faith is for nothing. If Christ's example was not true, then our hope is for naught. So I firmly believe that we should have this expectancy for that day when he triumphantly returns, and all of a sudden, all the believers are just like awakened into their eternal bodies, like, and I mean, you could make a movie out of that kind of thing, but not zombie-like, obviously. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's our hope, and that time in between, where it's I think of the guy at what's it called? Unlearn the Lies. I don't agree with him on everything, but he had a great analogy where he talked about us like you are a computer, right? So in this analogy, your body is the hardware of the computer itself. Your soul is the software that's imprinted on that computer. All the applications and programs, all the nuances, the personality, your mind, your attitude, everything. That's your soul imprinted on the computer. And the spirit is the power, the electricity that powers that computer. And when you die, like in Ecclesiastes, it's like the breath, who says the breath of man goes up and the breath of animals goes into the dust, etc. Like the power leaves the computer and the spirit leaves this hardware and software and goes to the one who sent it. And that's why I think Paul said absence from the body is presence with the Lord in the spiritual sense. So again, that's our hope, is to be resurrected. When all of a sudden he comes back, brings the power back, and all of a sudden we're like upgraded and, software, hardware upgrade, everything. We become like the angels, the scripture says. So those are the 2 points that I think we're failing in giving this marketing pitch of, do this thing and you get your free ride, you get your ticket. I don't think the skeptics of today's generation are buying it. So let's take a closer look at that.